Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface with your second video of the day. My word, the neighbours will talk. Let them. And we're once more drawn to the BBC, and I, after 3 times in a row, refuse to make the joke. You know the one I'm talking about. Because do you know why? I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. After the last video, oh my goodness me, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Do you know what happened? My YouTube manager phoned me up and he went, I've just seen your latest video. And I was like, yeah, it's doing fine. People seem to be gravitating well towards it. And he went, you didn't tell them to subscribe at the beginning. Apparently, I'm not allowed any candy for 3 days. Quite sad. So, the BBC drop another bombshell of an article on us, which is going to be quite interesting to go through. But what I will say is, instead of kind of repeating the FIFA video that I did a few days ago, there's a twist. There's a twist in today's video. So, let's just get into it. My son spent £3,160 in one game. Now, they talk about the video that they did, or the article that they did last week, and this paragraph is rather interesting. It generated a big debate around whether parental controls are sufficient, how much responsibility lies with mum and dad, and this is the bit I like, and the ethics of encouraging young players to spend money within games and apps, because there is a distinct lack. Regardless of what EA and Epic Games and all these other companies say, there is a distinct lack of ethics because they're refusing to take responsibility for how the kids are reacting, if they're being little tykes and going around the parental controls. As we saw in the last video, they saw how their father entered his credit card details and therefore copied it, and were able to empty their bank account, 550 quid, that family. Very embarrassing indeed. So, you know, they are the ones going, no, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's the parents, isn't it? I mean, we're saying these are games for kids, but we're not saying that these actually have gamble-esque monetization mechanics in them when we're saying anyone over the age of 3 can play them. There is a distinct lack of ethics. But this story, and I'm not trying to patronize here, I'm really not, but you can't help but have sympathy. The person in question, 22 years old, so they are an adult, disabled, cerebral palsy, complex epilepsy, autism, and learning difficulties with the approximate cognitive ability of a 7-year-old. But they are 22 and they are an adult. Now, due to this person's disabilities, they can, you know, they rely on things like iPads and stuff like that to keep them involved. These are things which are now being, you know, pushed towards older people to keep them functioning, to keep their minds going. You know, once you take away everything from somebody who's much older, that's when you tend to find that they dip out. Because they're no longer self-sufficient. They're just relying on everyone else. And when you start relying on everyone else, trust me, it's amazing how quickly you can dip. It's actually very good to encourage them to get involved in something, to keep their mind active, maybe even just totter out into the garden, just something to keep them engaged in the world. And the game that they're referring to is one called Hidden Artifacts, a free-to-play game that involves finding objects on the screen and all that kind of stuff. And yes, they racked up a £3,160 bill. Now, they contacted iTunes. These transactions were made between the 18th of February and May 2019, 30th of May. And iTunes said, we can't help, but we can put you in contact with the company that makes it, Blastworks Limited, who, surprise, surprise, have not responded to any of the contacts that the lady has tried to make. And then if we scroll down, this article is full of them. £2,000, 16-year-old, spent on the EA mobile NBA. A minor, 16 years of age. And remember, if you saw I play EA's mobile games, this one I said I think was particularly egregious. This one here was just like, get in the store and buy stuff. I think the very first thing it said was, as soon as you got into the game, was go into the store and build a better team. That was the first thing it tried to do. £2,000. £700 Clash of Clans. It's just riddled with it all. Just riddled with these. My boy spent £1,000 on Fortnite. Jeez. My daughter spent £93 on a free trial. So we've heard horror stories about all these. But I thought, let's go back to the original article. £3,160 in this game. So I downloaded it and I played it. So first and foremost, this is the app in question. Hidden Artifacts, 4-star rating after 239 votes. You can download it for free, and then small, let's just be honest, it is pretty small, in-app purchases. So here's the game playing at the moment, and you get put into a static room, and you have to try and find the objects down here at the bottom. In this particular room, there's 6 of them. There can be more of them. And when you find them, you get these gold coins that you can see. What the gold coins are used for, I've got no idea. The game, in about 30 minutes of play, has not given me anything to do with them whatsoever. But unfortunately, the iPad cuts off the top. You can just see here, there's actually a crystal currency. And guess what the crystal currency is? Yes, it's the premium currency. Ta-da! Here's the store. So you've got £3 will buy you 25 diamonds. They call them crystals, whatever. And again, the monetization goes up to £49. For 650 of them. And over here, they're selling the gold, which again, the game in approximately half an hour's worth of play that I did today didn't give me anything whatsoever option-wise to do with this gold. So it's got to come, I imagine, at a later date. So what can you do with these diamonds? Well, every time you move to a different address to do some more sleuthing, it uses up energy, and you can purchase energy recovery items with the diamonds, and you do get it back, but as ever you get 1 bit of energy back after 2.5 minutes of waiting, and it takes at the moment, because I don't know how much larger it could potentially get, it takes you at the moment 8 pieces of energy to move from one place to another. So if you add 2.5 minutes times 8, it's 20 minutes. So you would have to wait 20 minutes to go from bit to bit. So energy plays a very important aspect in the game. But like I said, what else do the diamonds do? Well, it's a mobile game. It literally takes you to a gambling mechanic. So you've all played roulette at some point, yeah? You got an idea of roulette. You pay 3 of these diamonds and it spins the wheel for what you get. You can get 20 energy. You can get 1 diamond back. You can do different things. So I've just spent the energy I've got to get back into another room. And again, you go on with the plot. Now, in terms of the actual game itself, the mechanics are addictive. Yes, you want to find what's in the room. You want to see what's there. And because you have to go back to the room multiple times, and it will set you different items to find each time, because it unlocks a piece of a painting, and there are multiple paintings that you need to complete, You want to make sure that you do them all. So yes, you can parrot learn where some of them are, and then they get a little bit more difficult or a little bit more hidden as to where they are. But let's just say after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I had burnt through my energy. And as you can see, I had enough and logged off. So the game itself is very specifically designed for you to run out of energy after you've got yourself comfortable within the game, puts you straight onto the waiting roster. But you have to think about this. Just, you know, break yourself away for 2 seconds and think, a game allows you approximately 20 minutes of gameplay before it's literally demanding money or you're stopping here and now. You got to wait 20 minutes, whatever it may be, for your energy levels to get back to a point where you can just visit one more location. Then you can do that one more location. Then you got to wait 20 minutes to go to another. So it's literally demanding that you go and do that. If you want to play on, it's time for you to pay. And it's so easy. It's so easy for people just to flick a little bit here, flick a little bit there. Is this a game that is worthy of £3,120? Well, of course it isn't. That's ludicrous. You could try and put whatever justifications you want. Well, it's quantifiable by the amount of fun the person had. Look, this particular person was vulnerable. This particular person was in a situation where they're reliant on things like the iPad, etc., for them to engage in the world. So this is an extreme example, sure, but this is an example of how somebody can easily be taken advantage of. And then all the others listed down there too. £2,000 in NBA, £1,000 in Fortnite. You know, you have to ethically ask yourself the question, if somebody puts X amount of money into this title, is it the time that we say you've unlocked, you know, the game for free play now? Or something like that. Because, you know, this isn't a £40, £50 game, a $60 game. If you look at America or Australia or Canada, where money doesn't mean anything, a $65,000 game. You know, you have to ask yourself, is it of that ilk? No. These are targeted games. These are unethical in the way that it tries to fleece money out of you. But hey, remember EA just a few weeks ago? It's ethical. We do things in an ethical manner. They are healthy for people. 2019, mobile gaming, respect it. No. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links down in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.